There we go.
Did you get it, Tom?
Yeah, I just got it.
Do you have it yet, Ronnie?
I have it there. Try refreshing it. No, I'm trying to connect me.
Okay, if you guys can hear me talking, go ahead and say hi or something so we know that we're going live now, please.
I see you.
It's coming in through XSplit now too. I don't know what the issue was.
Ron, you still don't have anything?
What's going on?
All right, great.
Ooh, we all made it. Is your mic on now?
Now they can hear me, hopefully.
There we
All right.
Alrighty.
Hey,
How's everybody been?
don't make me the center of attention. You need to move over a little bit. Okay. Yeah. All right, I think we're getting all the bugs worked out now, so looks like we got about 21 people in. Yeah, Ben, we've all been anticipating the season. I think it's a relief to finally see that we're going to be able to play ball. So
I'm ready for it to be over. We haven't even started yet.
yeah, Rod's had pretty big headache with reschedules and teams dropping out and teams coming in. So. All right, you want to kick it off?
Hi, Tom. See you there. Chris Allen. The Tuscan Gamer.
He was here last year. I forgot who it was.
Yeah, who was that?
Who's the Tuscan Gamer? Yeah, Rod's hair is a lot shorter this year.
Yep, all fell out during this whole ordeal.
Maybe it was the hair causing the headaches.
It wouldn't
that's right,
It wouldn't
Lucas.
be umpires that would ever cause me to have headaches, would it, Mark?
Hey, Terry.
What's up, Terry?
Yeah, we're up to 28 and 28 now, so or 27.
All right, we didn't get one.
Yeah.
All right, we got to get rolling so we can get moving on. So we had to make a few changes. Had a little bit of a delay because we had a bunch of teams drop, a bunch of new teams come in, so we had to rework all the schedules for about the 8th time for the teams before we could even get them ready. Everything should be locked down and should get, the games will be uploaded up into a signer tomorrow. I'll notify you all when they're done, but should be good to go from that point. Kind of just basically, I think Tim and both of us are going to touch base with you on everything as far as the guidelines that are going to be in place,
Yeah.
things of that nature, and answer any questions you all have. Essentially, everything we've done, we've tried to keep it to where we don't lose the integrity of the game. So that was the most important thing that we focused on.
Yeah.
But yet still follow the guidelines that's recommended. So we want to go over, Tim.
Yeah. I guess hopefully everybody can see us. I just got a text from Dave Hall that said he can hear us, but he can't see us. So I don't know if he's just having.
Take your sunglasses off,
Yeah,
Dave.
take your sunglasses off, Dave. So I'm not sure.
Try refreshing.
Yeah, try refresh, Dave. It might help. So I'm not sure. I don't believe Rod emailed out to all you guys our recommended guidelines that we're going to follow this year that we sent out to all the coaches. I'm not sure if any of you guys have seen those or heard we sent those out. If you had, hopefully you've read them. I guess we can kind of go over them real quick here. Do you want to skim through them real quick, or you want to throw them up on the screen so they can see and we'll hit them real quick? Or
Yeah, we
yeah, you
can.
want to
a
throw
little bit.
the rules up that Word document so they can see it?
Some of you might have already seen them on Facebook, so.
Yeah.
Mark has you on his TV. Must be.
All right, you got it, or?
You're throwing that out there for them to view, not, it's out there for them to see?
It's on the screen behind you guys.
Okay.
How do they want it?
Yeah, can you make it so that it's just them, not us? Just that, and not us?
There we go.
Okay. All right, so we had David put up our OCAC guidelines that we're going through. Like Rod said, hopefully you guys have seen those on Facebook or been involved with the team and seen those. We're going to go through these just really quick. I don't want to dive into any details. If you guys have questions over these when we're done talking, just go ahead and put it in the chat, and we'll address all the questions when we're done going through them. First off, real quick, masks are recommended, but to the fans when visiting the ballpark, it's a given. We're not forcing people to wear masks, but it is recommended by CDC. We're recommending that everybody maintain a 6-foot social distance. Dugouts, and for you guys, we're only going to allow up to three players and one coach in the dugout at a time. Everybody else just needs to spread out in the bleachers. We are going to reserve the bleachers for the players. We'll be driving around golf cart to help enforce some of that also. All fans to maintain 6-foot distancing. That really doesn't apply to you guys. Which one? Each team should make adult responsible. So what we're going to provide is a hand pump sprayer in each dugout. For when the first team leaves the field, we're asking an adult from that team to spray we're on number 5. So when the team leaves after the first game, we're asking them to sanitize the benches, the bleachers, and inside the dugout before the second team can enter. What we'd ask for you guys to do is when the game is done, second game is over at the end of the night, to grab those hand sprayers and bring them back to the sheds with you guys. That'll help. That way I don't have to run around at the end of the night and pick everything up. We're going to work on a plan on getting those out there. But we may, if we run into a situation, we may ask you guys to take them to the field, but we're hoping that it won't come to that we can just see if you guys will bring them back to the sheds for us. Also,
Yeah, PPE on the players. PPE on the players.
yeah, PPE on the players. Players are allowed to wear bandanas or masks as long as it don't pose a hazard.
That includes the pitcher.
That includes the pitcher. If the pitcher wants to wear a bandana or PPE, they can wear that. And that's for you guys too. So remember that we're not putting you guys out behind the pitcher. You're going to be right behind the catcher. We're not moving the catcher back. So if you guys feel that you want to wear a mask or a bandana, we encourage you guys to do that. In here we talked about, where was that at? So distance, no coolers.
Keep your sunflower seeds at home.
Yep.
Please. I know some of you use them as umpires too, but just don't be spitting out on the field and everything, please.
One of the rules in here that is when a coach is visiting their pitcher. We talked to managers last night. We are going to allow them, if they go on the field with a mask or a bandana, they can get closer than 6 foot to their players to talk to them quietly. Some had concerns of the 6 foot distance of the other team hearing their strategy, so we will allow them, as long as they're wearing a mask, to be within 6 foot of their players to talk to them. Just something to keep in mind.
Ground rules.
Yeah, ground rules. Again, when you guys do ground rules, maintain your 6 foot. Maintain your 6 foot distance. And we've told all the coaches to do the same thing. When you're doing ground rules, they will not hand you a lineup sheet. We're not requiring lineup sheets in the office this year. But they will need to exchange it with the other team. Your game cards, we're not requiring signatures from the managers. So you'll grab your game cards. You'll still need to keep score on the back like you normally do and turn the game card in. But we're not requiring you guys to get signatures from either team this year. What else you got in here?
Time between games.
Yeah, time between games. So what we did to allow the teams to get in and out of the park a little bit better and maybe create a little bit of a void and people leaving and coming at the same time into the park. We've shortened game times by 15 minutes on all the player pitch, and they're still starting at the same time. So if you've got a hour and 45-minute game, it's going to be an hour 30 or an hour 25 on the timer. That allows a half hour in between games for the one team to clear out, sanitize the dugout, and the other team to move in. Again, time management's going to be critical for you guys. I know some of you guys are real good at time management and know how to get the game done and out of there at the line, but
We're not adding that 5 on to that, right? We're just doing a 15.
what's it?
Because now you're talking on a 10
Oh, yeah,
ball game.
yeah.
You're talking it'll be only an hour and 10
Oh,
ball
yeah,
game.
that's right. Yeah.
So you just set your timers 15 minutes
Yeah.
shy.
So if it's an hour 45 game, it will be an hour 30. If it's an hour and a half game, it will be an hour 15.
And then treat that like your 5 minute,
5 minute
or
rule.
less.
Yeah. And anybody that's doing peewees, we're back them up only 5 minutes. So, and that is a drop dead on the coach pitch and machine pitch. So instead of setting your timer for 1 hour, you'll set it for 55 minutes. And I'm not sure how many new umpires we have online with us right now. If you guys want to hang around when we're done, we'll go over a few things with you. I know we didn't get you guys out on the field, but we'll be there opening night to help guide you where you need to be. Try to get everybody off on the right foot.
We'll kind of send you an email. Has some touch points on it, so you got like a cheat sheet, right?
Yeah,
What we're going over, so we're not just going to leave you out there.
yeah. And on all these rules, you guys, I mean, you're going to be the ones out there. So, I mean, if you see a team constantly huddling up without, getting in, having team conversations and huddling, you need to kind of break it up. If it becomes a problem, text Rod or I or Tina, and we'll make sure we get to the park and handle it. That's something we don't want to let get out of control. Again, we're not looking, if you think that they're only 5 feet away instead of 6, we're not going to be, distant police out there and run them out of the park because we think they're 5 feet instead of 6 feet. We just need to use a lot of common sense when we're doing this. Try to keep everybody playing. On all the player pitch, they only need 7 to start the game instead of 8. So remember that if a team only has 7 players on player pitch, they can start and finish the game with 7 instead of 8. That is about the only major rule that we changed on that, wasn't it, Ron?
Yeah.
Everything else is straight by the book.
Yeah. The only other change you're going to see is 9U and 10U. We changed 9U to 46 feet pitching and 65-foot bases. It's identical to the 10U. 10U will also be 46 rather than 45. So we did point that out to the teams, but just in case coach questions or whatever, that way you all know what's going on there. So that basically matches, I'm pretty sure, your tournament play. So,
And of course, if you guys see anybody that comes to the park and they look sick, they're coughing, maybe they got bad allergies, say something to the manager that they shouldn't be at the park if they're that sick. I think that's about it. We can get these guidelines out to you guys.
yeah, don't, at the sheds, don't congregate,
Switch back.
please.
Yeah.
If you can, the best you can. That's mainly, it's an appearance thing. We don't need everybody talking about, oh, we got 15 people grouped together,
Yeah.
1 foot apart over at the sheds. So
Yeah.
use some common sense, just like we're asking everybody on the teams to do. So
Water bottles. When you guys come to the park, you need to bring your own water. Concession stand will be open. I'm sure they'll sell you a cup of ice water for $1.50 or whatever it is, but they will not fill your coolers. And the drinking fountains won't be on.
right.
So make sure you bring plenty of water, or you're going to be buying a cup of water from the concession stand.
That is true, Mark.
What's that?
We don't congregate. We don't like each other anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Toby says, do you have a new rule book? No, rule books are online. We didn't have any additional rule books printed up this year because there was no major changes other than the distance on the 9 and 10U, and we'll update that on the webpage just hopefully this week.
Yeah, it's just going to be a supplement.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so we didn't go through the cost of printing new rule books just to make the one change on the pitching and base distance for 9 and 10U.
We can't afford rule books. We got to pay you all.
Yeah.
Got to harass you a little bit. That's what we all do, right?
Yeah, it says to make.
No, it's not your job to break them up, right?
No, it's not your job. You can say something to them if you want to say, hey, you guys need to get some distancing. But if they don't listen, like I said, text Rod or Tina or myself. I think Rod sends you guys all of our contact information. Just send us a quick text. Hey, this is so-and-so. I'm at Field C. I've got some coaches or parents over here that congregate. Can you guys come over here? And we'll come over and we'll handle it. But
Biggest thing is just for sure. I don't know what Tim thinks. Biggest thing for us is make sure you update us when you see issues that we need to get rectified.
yeah,
You're really there to umpire, right?
yeah,
And you're not the COVID police or whatever you
yeah.
want to call it. So.
But again, we can't be at every field all the time, so we need you guys to let us know when issues are occurring.
Yeah.
So we can try to take care of them.
If we have specific teams that seem to be completely disobeying, you need to let us know. So the nice part is nobody else is going to be touching the cards. You can make your notes on there, call us, text us, you know what I mean? Whatever you got to do so we can get it rectified.
Yeah. Where can you find our phone numbers? Rod will get our contact information out to you guys, Chris.
Yeah, they're also on the umpire list. It's out on a signer.
Oh yeah, you can
But we'll
find mine and Rod. I don't know if Tina's got hers public out there or not.
But we'll send it out to you.
Yeah. Do we have to state the guidelines to the coaches before each game?
No.
No, you don't have to state it. Just go over your basic ground rules.
We'll send these out to you. It doesn't mean you're not going to have some coaches ask you questions.
Yeah.
It's probably the first couple of games or whatever. But if they're asking, it's because they didn't take time to read them or they didn't come listen to our live meeting.
Yeah.
So
kind of get familiar with them. At the last game of the night, we normally have you guys tell the coaches or teams to pull bases. Go ahead and continue to have them pull bases, but what we're having the field guys do this year is put the base plugs under the bases. So when the teams pull the bases, there should be plugs underneath each base that they can drop right into the hole. That way it'll make it easier on the ground crew the next day when they need to redo the bases. So make sure that you point that out at your last game of, have them pull bases. So to make sure we're straight, the plate umpire is right behind the catcher as usual. Yes, you are correct. We are using standard setup on the field. We're not changing where you or the catcher are set. Set up in your normal position. Anything else you want to add, Rod?
Just a quick, reminder, just, there's no signing of the cards by the coaches. You don't have to take lineups. Please grab the sprayers when you leave.
Remind them to pull bases.
Your scorekeeping is really strictly for run rule limits. There's no standings, right?
Correct.
Anything of that nature, so. Any of you have any concerns or anything of that nature? That's what I'd like to know.
Yeah.
I'm curious if old Toby's thinking about coming out since he's sitting in here. Either that or he's just bored.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing anywhere, even in your state and county guidelines that require anybody to wear masks.
No.
In St. Charles County. Recommendations, there's
Yeah.
guidelines, but there's no requirement, right?
No, there's no requirement. I do know that like St. Charles County, for their employees, if everybody's recommended to wear face masks or wear PPE, but if the employee is not comfortable, they're not forcing them to do that. And I think that's pretty much the same for all businesses. It's highly recommended, but it is not a forcible issue. So if a parent says you have to wear it, you don't have to. Ben wanted to know ejections over not socializing, social distancing. No, Ben, we don't want you guys out there, looking for a reason to eject parents or coaches. But if you see a problem, point it out to the manager and ask them to fix it. If it's still a problem, text us, let us know so we can get up there and deal with it so you guys can focus on keeping the game going.
Ben, you just keep focused on your strike zone, you might have less
Yeah.
problems out there, brother.
Yeah. Now, see, Walmart, I mean, they can, a business can require you that you have to wear a mask, but we're not going to require that.
Individual business can, but it's not
Yeah.
a requirement, yeah.
It's not a CDC guideline or a county guideline or state guideline that it is a mandatory thing. Face masks and STL heat. I agree, Gary. That's going to be rough. But again, a bandana is a lot better than a thick mask. Wouldn't you agree?
They don't have to wear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's up to you. It's whatever you're comfortable with, so. I would recommend trying not to sneeze or cough on anybody while you're out there.
Yeah.
'Cause it may raise a little, you know how it is now, if you're in somewhere and you cough, everybody looks at you like they're gonna run from you, so. In all reality, man, everybody's just dying to get out there to play, so. Yeah, ain't no lie, Mark.
That's pretty good, Mark. Yep. So, Yeah, I mean, if you guys got concerns, now's the time to voice them so that we can address them, or, you know, if
Yep.
and make adjustments if we need to. Otherwise, you know, we're going out to play ball. It's going to be your normal positions.
Mark, you're also a J. Yeah, and in the end, you got to keep in mind that the teams that are left in here playing now and the teams that came in, they want to play.
Yeah.
So they're fully aware of the guidelines. They know what's out there. They're here because they want to play. So
Yep.
any of the teams and players that were in question or
wishy-washy,
doubts or
yeah.
wishy-washy, they've done left, moved on. So it should be a much better environment than that. Is it going to be simple to control the crowds at all times? Anybody that's been done any tournaments probably in the last week or couple weeks probably knows better than that. It's not going to be, but it's not going to be your job to worry about that. You just need to make sure you keep us updated on everything. So.
Yeah, I know driving past the parks the last couple of weeks, seeing these mini tournaments or round robin games running, there's no social distancing going on there. And that's because there's been no guidelines put out, and these small organizations or club teams haven't been held or restricted to what they need to be. So, again, that's why we're playing. As a league, we took the step to put these guidelines together and presented them to the city to say this is what we're going to do in order to play ball this year. And I'm pretty sure the city was happy with it. At least they're letting us play, so.
Okay, did you say, do we have any extra rule books left from last year?
No. Leftover rule books from last year, we might have a
Yeah,
couple up here.
We have
Yep.
some. Yeah.
You can stop by and pick one up, or the ones we have up here is the same thing that's out online. You can go out and download it.
On the balls, naturally, we're gonna, which we inform the coaches, and we'll remind them again. But if the balls go out of foul territory, they come in. It's not going to be your job to sanitize those. It's going to be the team that brings the foul ball in. So they got to sanitize it before they get it back into you in the field. All game balls coming in on the player pitch need to be sealed when they walk on the field. Okay? Is that all right?
Yeah.
Not out of the plastic.
Brian, does it look like we'll have, most fields will have 2 umpires? That's probably a question for Rod. I don't know how many umpires are signed up.
We should have enough. It's all going to depend on everybody's availability.
So right now we're running Westoff 1, 2, and 3, and Ozzie A, B, C, and D. And on Mondays, field G. So 7 fields every night, and then on Monday nights we're running 8 fields. We have nothing down on 5, 6, and 7. Rod was able to work his magic with the schedules and get the Pee-wees up on field 2 and 3.
No Flint Hill, no St. Paul.
Yeah, no Flint Hill.
They
Yep.
pulled out, so everything's on our fields.
Yeah, Gary, we got a lot of compliments from the managers that thanked us for the work that we've been doing, and mainly the work Rod's been doing with all the scheduling. I think he's the one. It's all said and done. We probably should take up a pool and send him someplace so he can recoup. So
I just need some camping time. I'll be
some
okay.
camping time, yeah.
But otherwise, you all know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we got a few new ones in here, I believe. If you're new, hit H1.
No, the game balls, Lucas, they have to come not in the box. They have to come out in the plastic.
If they're not wrapped in plastic like softball, then come
Yeah.
out in the box.
Yeah. And remember, anybody doing the Pee-wee games, the balls will be supplied to the field in a bucket, so you don't have to worry about the coach pitch and machine pitch.
Yeah, all those, you all be carrying those out. So.
Yeah.
Any new umpires in here this season that went through training? H1. Come on, nobody's going to bite you if you admit you're new. Come on.
Well, Mark, that's what most umpires do. It's all in how you sell it, right? So we don't have any new umpires in here? Oh, we have one.
There's one. Okay, when we wrap up, hang with us, and we're going to go over the software for you to figure out how
Cooper
to.
Smith, there's another one.
There's three.
2 to 3, okay, great.
And we'll go over the software. But anything else you guys have concerns, let us know so we can get it all squared away next week. I will email tomorrow as soon as the games are uploaded. Probably around midday, somewhere around there. I've got 2 that I've got to rework, so. Yeah, I know, it's a huge delay.
Yeah, we tend to forget about it on this side. Oh, hey, Landon.
At the same time, all you regulars, if you know anybody looking to umpire, let us know. I think we'll be okay, but you never know what kind of hot summer we're going to have and everything else. So,
Yep. And I know there's a lot of leagues that aren't playing, so.
did Terry leave us?
Nope.
All right, well, we'll cut you all loose then,
Other than your new ones,
except for the new ones.
yeah, if you guys want to hang around, we'll go over the over the software on scheduling for you guys. That way you're familiar with it, and you guys know how to pick up your games and schedule your games. So, all you returning guys, if you want to hang around and watch as a refresher, just in case you forgot, I know it's been a while, so. and we know you guys have a hard time remembering rules anyhow, so maybe you do need a refresher.
Thanks all. Glad everybody's doing okay. Let's have some fun this year. Try to. See you, Toby. Thanks, Eric.
Yeah, we can't wait to get started either, Mark. It's been a long road to this point. Yeah.
We got through it. Making lemonade out of lemons.
Just sign the scorecard is a problem.
You don't want to sign the scorecard, Eric?
Yeah, not sure what you're asking there, Eric.
See you, Terry. Oh, my foot hurts. $30, 45-second delay in between.
I think it's 20 seconds.
Yeah. I'm not sure what your question is, Eric, but we're not requiring managers to sign the scorecards. You guys can sign those at the.
Oh, it was a joke.
Oh, okay. Sorry. All right. All right. Well, I guess we can get started. That way we can get you new umpires out of here. We'll pull up the scheduling software. All right.
All right, what we got, Tim? You got it?
Now you know more about it than I do.
Oh, really? All right, so I presume those of you that are new that are in here, you figured out how to get your login going, so you're good to go. So the first thing we're going to make sure is that you know where to go for your availability. Make sure you put that in, so if you can't pick up a game on a night that you are available, when the games come out, then you can pick up games. If somebody calls off, we can drop you in on there. So you're going to want to go to availability. Go to my availability. And there you go. So it's going to be complicated, but I'm going to detail it for you. So on the calendar, starts out with red X. Red X means not available, right? Now if you click one, got it, David? Not working? Oh, here.
Yeah, that's season. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So here, you'll see an allow, that when you hit allow, it turns green. That means you're good to go. So red means whoa, stop. Green means go, I can umpire. So
And until you set your availability, you won't be able to actually schedule any games for yourself. So if you go out to schedule games and you can't schedule anything, it's probably because you haven't made yourself available that night to work. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody. And we'll give it a few minutes. Anybody got any questions on that? That's pretty straightforward, but if you've got a question, go ahead and shoot it out in text or in the chat real quick, and if not, we'll move on.
make sure you set that all the way out through the end of August, because I think the schedules are running right now till about August 20th.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you.
All right, so then the next thing, once you've done that, then when we release the games that's going to pop up tomorrow, you're going to go to the tab that says games, right? And then you want to go to all games. This is where you're going to come into. There's no games in there now, naturally. But basically what's going to appear on there is going to show you the games that you're eligible to umpire. Okay, those are the games you'll be able to choose from. Okay?
And remember, if you're picking a field, if you're on field 2 and you're picking a 6 o'clock game, there's a very good chance there's another game after that. You need to take both games. Don't take just one game, the first game or last game. You need to schedule yourself for both games.
There's very few days and very few fields that have only one game on it right now, because we've compacted everything in.
And if it does have one game, there's a good chance that if we get a rain out, Rod's going to drop a second game on that field. So if you're scheduling yourself that night and there's only one game, make sure you're available to do a second game just in case.
All righty?
Anybody got any questions?
Yeah, well, basically what's going to happen, Mark, is fall ball is going to have to start later anyway, because they moved the Heritage Fest Freedom Fest. Or what is it?
Yeah, the 4th of July
4th of
festival.
July
O'Fallon.
there in O'Fallon got moved, and they're looking at Labor Day weekend, so we won't start fall ball till probably September 8th. And then we'll look at that being an 8 or 10 game season.
Yeah. Probably run till the end of October this year.
Right. Yep. But we wanted to try and give everybody as many games instead of just cutting everything back. And we originally were going to try and do 12 games. And we just ran into too many issues that pushed us to a point where we had to drop back to 10 games scheduled for summer. So, any of the new umpires have questions about the system?
Has everybody been able to log into their account? Is I guess another question too, right? Or do you know that?
They wouldn't have got the email,
Oh, yeah.
I don't think. Yeah, it'll actually be a little bit more like fall, Mark, if you think about it.
Yeah.
A little bit closer to true fall versus starting in the middle of August. So,
So when you guys pick your games, and you will get an email or text or both, right? With their schedule. That comes out once a week. I think midnight on Sunday night. You'll get an email for that week of the games that you're scheduled to work, or a text message. And then I think it does it nightly too, doesn't it? If you're working the next day, you get a reminder. Does it or not?
I don't know. The night before reminder?
Yeah.
You guys don't have any questions? And gals?
Sorry, it's me.
Well, they never have questions,
Yeah.
usually, until they go to do it, and then they'll be calling.
Yeah. The,
If you run into any problems, call the office first right now, 636-978-7668 during the day.
So when Rod tells you the schedules are available, you guys need to get out there and schedule yourself. Otherwise, because the games will be posted out there. So if you want games, you need to get out there and schedule yourself for games. Otherwise, if you're marked available and there's a need for an umpire, Rod will drop you in as needed at that point. Otherwise, we won't schedule you for a game unless we have an opening.
Chris Allen asked a question.
Yes, games are actually Monday through Thursday. Right now, we have no games scheduled on Friday nights. Unless we get a lot of rainouts where we have to move to a Friday night, we're going to try to stay off of them. It'll be
Yep.
Monday through Thursday.
Monday through Thursday.
Monday through Thursday, and in order to get 2 umpires on the field every night, we need 28 umpires a night. So there's plenty of games out there. Right, 14 umpires.
14 a night.
14, sorry.
14 a night, yeah.
Trying to put 4 of you guys on a field. So,
Math is hard to.
yeah.
All right, anything else? Otherwise, we're going to get out of here.
Yeah, we'll leave it open here for, and we know there's a delay, so we'll leave it open here for another couple of minutes. So if you guys got any questions, go ahead and put them in there, and we'll get them answered. Otherwise, here in a few minutes, we're going to just cut everything off, and we'll see you guys out on the field. Like I said, you new guys and gals. So whenever we're opening night, when you're there, we didn't get to go through any of this, so. Hopefully you guys all know where the West-Off shed is by Field 1. That's where you'll meet. You'll see either myself, Rod, or Tina, or all of us there. Just come up to the shed, get dropped off. We'll go over everything the first week or two that you guys are there, help you get settled in, show you where everything's at. Try to get to your field, get you guys settled into the field since we didn't get any outdoor training. Like I said, we really want to make sure you guys succeed, so we're going to try to do what we can to get you guys out there. But please don't hesitate to, if you got any questions or concerns, let Rod know or send an email to the office.
That's Missouri math.
What's that?
Your math.
Yeah.
I don't
yeah.
know if that's Missouri or Zoom.
That's a Zoom alt math thing, Mark. No, Chris, the problem is the senior umpires, I mean, it depends on what you're talking about. If you're talking about player pitch, we will try to get the new umpires with somebody that's done a few games or a few years under their belt. On the coach pitch and machine pitch umpires, we have a few returning. We'll try to get them paired up if we can. But on the Pee-wees, we may have two new umpires on the same field. But on the player pitch, I think Rod will try to make sure that anybody new that's doing player pitch is paired up with somebody that's got a little bit of experience. Right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, Chris, always bring your gear with you every night. And yes, you'll see you'll have either the field or the plate. And you'll have probably one of each night you work. So we know some of the new ones will try and come out and just sign up for the field for both games.
Yeah.
But eventually, senior umpire, or experienced umpire is going to finally make you take the reins, just so
Yeah.
you know. So always have your gear with you. Right on, Mark.
Appreciate that, Mark.
What did he say?
We're not playing which umpire.
He said plain in his previous question. He's
Oh.
just correcting it, but he meant pumping instead of plain.
Oh,
Oh, the schedule show which umpire's playing?
No, Tim, that's something.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correcting himself.
Oh, okay. I see it now.
alrighty, you too.
All right. Yep. Remember, anybody new, if you're working Ozzy, you'll have senior umpires over there. Ask them questions. They're more than willing to share their wealth of experience with you. All right, guys, we're not seeing any more questions, so, yep. And of course, Mark's got to keep us here. Yeah. Very well said, Mark. You still on, Mike? Oh. All right, well, everybody have a good night. We're going to get things closed out here, so everybody have a good weekend. Stay safe until season starts. We'll see everybody week of June 8th. Watch for the email for schedules. Thanks.